Hello everyone, I'm Shu Hu. I'm a Purdue Computer and Information Technology professor in Indianapolis. Currently, in the real world, so we do not have a perfect defect detector, right? However, we can use them like the manual detection methods. Do not rely on defect detectors to detect the defects. And for example, we also call them physical-based or physiological-based methods. For example, for the physical-based methods, for example, just look at my eyes. And if you check my eyes, you can find the two specular highlights, right? And if we compare these two specular highlights, you will see they are very similar, right? However, for the deepfake, like face images, these two specular highlights are totally extremely different. So we can use this cue to identify which one is fake, which one is real. On the other hand, from the physiological-based methods, actually we just look at my eyes again. So let's check the pupil shapes. So for the real people like me, right? So my pupil shapes in an ellipse or a circle, right? However, if you check the deepfake face images, and you will see these two like pupil shapes are irregular. So we can also utilize this subtle cue to identify which one is fake, which one is real. I have seen lots of detectors focusing on the videos or images and audio, right? But also, the deepfake manipulation is not just on a single data modality, right? For example, they can manipulate like visual features, and also they can manipulate like the voice, human voice, right? So basically, so recently our group released a paper, a survey paper, and this survey paper is called Detecting Multimedia Generated by Large AI Models. And in that survey, we have highlighted one of the future directions is to accelerate the development of multimode data deepfake detectors. And I think one of the biggest challenges is that we have limited available data that can be used to train detectors, especially for the multimode deepfake detectors. So, in the recent years, we have witnessed many generative AI models, right? Those models can generate highly realistic images, videos, or audios, right? Although these contents can enrich our lives, they also pose challenges in detecting, right? For example, in generating deepfakes, right? For example, for the deepfake makers, they can generate lots of novel deepfakes based on these generative AI models, right? So, and also you can see these deepfakes are very hard to be detected. And so the answer is yes, I believe deepfakes become increasingly common. So how can we use manual technologies to help people identify deepfakes, right? So we can leverage the cues to identify deepfakes. However, we cannot let humans, let citizens remember all of the cues, right? This is a big challenge. So we have to leverage the AI technologies to develop detectors and assist us to detect the deepfakes. So actually so the pipeline is like this one. We select deep neural network architectures, and we design a specific loss function to guide the model training on a large and diverse deepfake dataset. And after that, the core idea is to guide the AI models remember the patterns and cues left by the generative AI models, and after that we can deploy them into real-world scenarios and to detect the unseen and novel defects. I think the biggest challenges is that we have to emphasize this trend, and also we want to educate more people, average people like older adults, to recognize these defects, right? How to protect themselves, how to leverage their existing cues to identify these defects, right? So this is a big challenge.